Good afternoon. You are listening to this presentation today because you are interested in learning about leadership opportunities on our campus. This presentation will focus on the development of leadership skills and how they pertain to student laboratory research. There will be 3 chemistry faculty speaking, followed by 6 students, all of whom are currently involved in research. There are many departments on campus that support student research, but this talk will focus specifically on undergraduate work that takes place in the chemistry laboratories. First, myself, Dr. Murphy, will identify important leadership skills that can be developed by doing undergraduate research. Then Dr. Mitroka-Batsford will explain how you can get involved in research, and she will present some examples of former student projects. Dr. Xu will give details of interdisciplinary research opportunities funded by the Azoku STEM Center. These unique projects require collaboration between at least 2 STEM departments. For example, faculty and students from the chemistry department will work with faculty and students in other departments, such as biology or environmental science or physics. Then, to wrap it up, students currently working in the chem labs will talk about their projects and how the research experience developed leadership skills. Note, not all of these students listed here are majoring in chemistry. Some are majoring in biology or biotechnology. When you think of working in a lab, beakers, flasks, and hot plates may come to mind. Yes, you need to have technical skills to know how to use this labware, but there are also essential soft skills required to be successful in the lab. Students need to communicate effectively. They need to be responsible, possibly act as mentors, make some very important decisions, be resilient, and be able to present their work. These laboratory skills listed on the screen are also leadership skills. I will now elaborate on how these skills are developed as students partake in research. So let's focus on communication. Both written and verbal communication are essential. I have communication listed first on the slide because it is the skill practiced most frequently. Entering data into the laboratory notebook is the first step of research. Then the summary of the project may be presented as a poster or written in a document. Frequently, you will verbally communicate with your faculty advisor, discussing the project, its results, and what you are planning to do next. You may also be working with other students, and you need to talk with them. Chemicals and equipment may need to be ordered for the project, and that will require communication between you, the vendor, and university procurement. You must be responsible in the laboratory. Everyone in the lab has to be informed of and be practicing safety protocol. It is your responsibility to keep the laboratory tidy and to know how to report accidents and clean up spills. More importantly, to understand the proper techniques to prevent spills and accidents. Typically, you and your advisor decide when you will be working in the lab. which days of the week, which time. It is not safe to work alone, and it is your responsibility to let your advisor know if your schedule changes. Acting as a mentor. You might need to explain your project to less experienced students and act as their mentor. In the past, some of our students served as mentors to students enrolled in local elementary schools. Decision making. Decisions will need to be made. Lab results from one week will be used to decide what to do the next week. You will have to consider if you need to repeat an experiment. Do you need to change the way you're doing things? Do you need to prioritize purchases to stay within your budget? Do you need to ask to borrow equipment from a neighboring lab? And so on. Resilience. Laboratory research often does not go as planned. The student researcher needs to be resilient. Projects may be redesigned. You may have to start over from the very beginning. Replan your approach. All of this can be very frustrating and difficult to keep going. But that's how research is. Lastly, public speaking. At Worcester State, we expect all of our students participating in research to present at the celebration of scholarship and creativity. Many students also go on and present their work at other conferences at the state or even national level. All of these are excellent public speaking opportunities for the students. The audience can be a few friends or a room full of people with whom you are not acquainted. So all of these skills are used in the lab, but all of these skills are also leadership skills. Now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Mitroka, and she's going to give you information on how you can get involved in research.
So there are many opportunities to get involved in research at Worcester State University. And typically, we even try to have students thinking about research before they actually come into Worcester State as students. We typically try to prime students to be thinking about research by bringing posters of current research to open houses, by having current research students talk at orientation or at congratulations day about their experience working in the lab. And so this kind of helps set the scene for students that there are research opportunities, and they know this from day one of their experience. So there are several fieldwork courses at Worcester State University. And the fieldwork courses represent our traditional in-lab independent research work. You'll see that for chemistry, biology, and biotechnology, there is both a lower level option for fieldwork and an upper level option. And the lower level option is used to introduce undergraduate students to research. The upper level option is used for students who have more skills, whether they've already taken the lower level course, so they've been in the lab and they've been through the introduction, or sometimes students join research later on in their academic careers. They're a senior student and they've taken several courses that have given them enough hands-on lab experience that they can go to the upper level course. Okay. Additionally, the upper level option of fieldwork can be used to attain honors in either biology, biotechnology, or chemistry. Now, for students who would like to have some additional research experience, we also have several research-driven courses that allow students even more independent lab-based work. So these courses are not the field work, they're not students working completely independently. Generally speaking, the students are working with one or two other students. And so this is a great addendum for students who are really passionate about research. They can do these courses in addition to their independent research. And for students who may feel a little hesitant to be completely independent, they have some partners that they can kind of work with, but still get a little bit extra of that research experience than they would from simply the coursework. So these courses in the chemistry department include CH470, Instrumental Analysis, CH435, Advanced Laboratory Experience, and in bio and biotechnology, there is BI205, which is Research Techniques and Experimental Design, which goes through essentially the basics of research. Additionally, students can take courses for the Commonwealth Honors Program, and oftentimes when students are in the honors program and they're taking a lab-based course for honors credit, there is an additional project that is required of them. And for many students, this might be involving doing independent research that directly applies to that class. For example, in CH410, I am a biochemistry professor, and when students take biochemistry for honors credit, they have to do an independent project that requires them to help either develop a new lab or improve upon an old lab. Additionally, we do have many opportunities for students to gain research experience outside of Worcester State. So many students are involved with internships at local companies that can be used as credit towards their degree. Again, there's the chemistry, biology, and biotechnology option for these, depending on what the student's major is. We also have a large number of students who take advantage of undergraduate research experiences, such as REUs that happen at some local and some very distant universities. We have, within the past 5 years, sent several students to WPI to work for a summer, and for a couple of those students that actually translated into continuing work throughout the academic career. Same with Clark, Harvard University, and we even had a student who went all the way out to Iowa State University to complete an REU. Now, for students who want to either continue their work at Worcester State University during the summer, or they want to have simply a summer experience of doing research, there are many grant-funded summer research opportunities at Worcester State. Dr. Imo Azoku has provided funds for students to get summer research fellowships, and these fellowships allow for the providing of supplies, a stipend for the student, as well as even a stipend for the professor. Same with the Azoku Interdisciplinary STEM Research Team Initiative. Again, this is a very generous grant by Dr. Azoku, and this is a grant that is actually used to fund research throughout the year. However, it allows for specific funding to happen over the summer to support a student who would otherwise not be able to do research because they need that time to make some money for the academic year. Finally, the university provides summer undergraduate research grants, which again provide enough to cover a stipend for the student, a stipend for the faculty member, as well as supplies. All right, so How do students go about research? When is the appropriate time? How do you ask? What do you do? So I'm going to walk you through the typical timeline for a student who is interested in doing research. Again, we try to have students really thinking about this even before they land on campus. And so we're hoping that they're starting to pay attention actually even from day one of year one. Okay, so in the chemistry department, in year one, a student will be taking CH 120 and CH 121. This is the general chemistry sequence. Now, it's your first year here. And so what you're really wanting to do is to get to know your professors. Each one of your professors is going to have a different area of expertise. And this is the time to find out what those areas are and find out about the research that they're doing and what appeals to you. This is also a really critical time for learning lab techniques. And dare I say it, learning how to keep an appropriate notebook. One of the most critical factors that you need in being a scientist. So after year one, you're on to year two. Here, you're taking the organic chemistry sequence and probably also chemical analysis. Again, organic chemistry and organic chemistry labs are really going to expand your chemical knowledge. Chemical analysis is going to really reinforce a lot of the techniques that you learned in CH 120 and 121. And many students say that this is the course that really kind of makes you learn how to be very specific, very on point, and really hones in on your laboratory skills. So at this point, you're continuing to research the projects that you're interested in. And it's probably a good idea to show up in March or April, depending on when it's happening, to the celebration of scholarship and creativity that Worcester State University holds every year. This is going to allow you to interact with students who are doing research. It's a really good introduction to all of the research that's happening in all of the departments, as well as the department that you're specifically in or wanting to do research in. There's nothing better for getting an introduction to the research that's going on at Worcester State University than to attend that event. All right, now you're on to year three. Generally, this would be the year where you take physical chemistry and physical chemistry lab. And this is where you're also going to want to start doing research. Perhaps you'll take CH 290 in the fall and then move up to CH 492, the upper level option, in the spring. But by junior year, this is a great time to start doing research. You've been through the general chemistry sequence. You've been through the organic chemistry sequence. You have a lot of the basic skills that you will need to be able to do research independently under your belt. And now is the time to get in the lab. Your last year is largely going to be composed of your upper level electives. This is where you've gotten all of the basic knowledge of a chemist, and now you're seeing it in action in more specified type courses. And of course, this is when you are now finishing up your research. Okay, you're taking CH 492, and if you take CH 492 your junior year spring semester and both the first semester and second semester of your senior year, you will have 3 credits of upper level research experience that will count as an upper level elective for the chemistry major. All right, so now I'd actually like to go through and give just a couple of examples as to what undergraduate research looks like and how ultimately it culminates in terms of what is expected from the student and how they actually show the work that they did over the 1 or 2 years that they were working with you. Okay, so this is a project that I had 2 undergraduate research students working on, Brianna Brosnan and Tasneem Zwara. They joined my lab in their 3rd year, and they actually presented this work at the end of their 1st year working with me. So they presented it at the end of their junior year. Okay, as you can see, they titled the poster, Proposing Cancer Treatments Through the Investigation of Nitroxyl, or HNO, reactions with target biological processes. So both of these students were chemistry majors. And again, to some degree, this informs the project that they will be working on. It's not uncommon to have students that are biology or biotechnology majors working with chemistry faculty as well. And depending on a major, a student might not have had certain classes or are maybe interested in a more biologically driven type research project. And so these 2 students were very interested in both chemistry and biochemistry. And so this project spoke to both of those interests for them. Okay. So as you can see, if you look in the middle of the poster, the students started with a little bit of organic chemistry, making the HNO precursor and jelly salts, right? They then went on to apply that by testing that HNO precursor with different proteins, right? And doing activity assays to see what the effect of HNO had on proteins, okay? Now, to me, what is really amazing about what they did was going through and learning all of the background information that was necessary to communicate essentially the why of what they were doing. I think oftentimes this can be a struggling point for students because even though they may have known what they did, they have a hard time articulating and sometimes even understanding why they did it. What is the big picture problem that we're trying to fix here? Okay. So here, Tasneem and Brianna did a great job of understanding their work and then articulating it to their audience through an engaging manner. So again, as I mentioned before, this is a skill that is really very well addressed in terms of doing undergraduate research, actually being able to talk about what it is you did and why it is you are doing it. So again, when we think about the culmination of research, it usually ends in a presentation or publication. And what leadership skills do we typically see playing out? Well, yes, definitely communication and definitely being able to communicate with individuals who know less than they do, as well as people who do know more than they do. So that is a version of public speaking that is very intimidating. And this is a way in which students get hands-on experience when they're still in college, being able to have to communicate information to multiple audiences. Another thing I always tell my students is if you don't need words, don't use them. If you can get your point across in a picture or a graph, use that instead. And so you can look at this poster and you can see there's a lot of pictures, there's a lot of graphs that they're using to talk about their work rather than actually, blocks of text. So where are they now? Okay. So Tasneem and Brianna have both moved on in their career. but not without really leaving a very lasting impression on Worcester State University and specifically the chemistry department. So both are 2016 graduates of Worcester State University's chemistry department. Tasneem graduated and was actually named the 2015-2016 29 Who Shine recipient. That is an award that is given to exactly one student at Worcester State University per year, and it goes to a graduating senior, and that year, Tasneem was the winner. She also went on to win the chemistry department's award that we give to students who are graduating who have contributed greatly to the department, and she won that hands down. And then Brianna as well won the 2016 Departmental Research Award for her contributions to research throughout her years. She actually also presented the work that her and Tasneem did at a national ACS conference in 2016. Okay. Now, Tasneem is in Connecticut and she is working as a teacher, and Brianna is currently a research associate at UMass Medical. So finally, I would like to also present the culmination of research that is from one of those courses that we were talking about, the research-driven courses, specifically advanced research experience. All right, so in this course, what students do is they develop labs for other lower level courses. And so the students in this particular class developed a lab that was later used in physical chemistry, in the Physical Chemistry 1 lab. And so that was a great opportunity for them because they were actually able to see that their work had paid off and had become a lab that is now part of our curriculum and done every year.
This is Dr. Weichu from the chemistry department. I will share with you how my research students developed their leadership skills in the research lab. My research students are shown in the pictures here. Brian and Antonio joined my lab during their senior year. They worked on the synthesis of the metabolites of DNA pol-IIIC inhibitors as antibacterial drug for C. difficile. This work was presented as poster in Medicinal Chemistry Division and Undergraduate Research Division during 2018 American Chemical Society ACS National Meeting in Boston. I am also happy that they developed their relationship in love while working in the lab. They helped me to train Renata and Kim. Then Renata and Kim helped me to train Han, who helped me with the training of Emily, New, and Emma. Before students started in the research lab, they were given a few papers related to the research project to read. When they really show their interest after that, I will listen to their whys, and we will also discuss their future plans. Research students will have the lab safety training by safety officers. Then they were trained by me to carry out the reactions with supervision and develop skills to work independently. We will communicate and discuss the results as the project moves forward. Students are also encouraged to apply for the student research grant individually or as a team, from a few $1,000s to over $1,000. When they get their own research grant, students really feel that's their own project and are willing to put more effort and time and be more proactive with the research. In the lab, students enjoy the excitement of success, also experience the frustration of failures. During the uptime, I share their joy. When they are down, I communicate with them, encourage them, care about them, and respect them. Quickly, they can walk out of the darkness and back to research. All these help developing their troubleshooting skills and resilience. At this point, new research students will join the lab, first to observe the research, trained by the seniors and me. Then they will be signed up as independent research studies students and continue. Dr. Azoku Interdisciplinary STEM Research Team Initiative Grant has helped us to work collaboratively with my colleague Dr. Kerr and Dr. Greenwell in biology department. Students have also developed interdisciplinary working skills with other students and faculty members. Undergraduate research time during the semesters are very limited. I usually encourage students and help them to apply for Dr. Azoku or WSU Undergraduate Research Fellowship to conduct research in the summer. We have successfully applied a few such grants, and several students have benefited from these opportunities. The grant opportunities, the experiences of being trained, and training juniors help the research students to develop their research skills and leadership skills. They have presented their research at Worcester State University and nationally. Kim won Dr. Shamgochan Research Award in Chemistry in 2019 during her senior year. Kim Vu won Dr. Shamgochan Award in Chemistry during her senior year in 2019. Renata won the first place prize in 2019 undergraduate poster competition at the Celebration of Scholarship and Creativity at Worcester State. Han presented her work during the 2020 Celebration of Scholarship and Creativity virtual poster presentation. She has also coordinated a project making videos for our own organic chemistry lab experiments to help students prepare for the lab, to help those who are visual learners, and to help those who can come to the lab due to health issues or in quarantine due to pandemic. I will let them share how they have developed their working relationship, leadership skills, love, and care to others.
Hi, my name is Han. I'm a fourth-year student majoring in chemistry. I have been involved in research activities since my second year. I first started with the synthesis and evaluations of metabolites of GOS 36-2E, during which I was trained under my senior guy. After a year of training, I then began my first independent projects, the synthesis study of T11T. I am currently working on two projects at the same time. One is the synthesis study of T11T, and the other one is the organic video making projects, where we record videos of organic experiments to help students with their lab skills. I have known very early that become a research scientist is my career goal. I love researching, I love expanding my knowledge, and I love finding the answers for the questions that have yet to be answered. I applied to several PhD programs last year and got accepted to some of them. My plan after graduating is to do more research, get a PhD degree in chemistry, and become an actual research scientist. I think that all of the 6 leadership skills are needed in our lab, which include communications, responsibility, resilience, decision-making, mentorship, and public speaking. In my organic video making projects, for me, communications and decision-making skills are especially important. It's because this is a project that has a very tight deadline. Therefore, I and my team member have to communicate, correspond with each other effectively in order to produce high-quality videos. Additionally, I, as a team leader, I have to make a lot of decisions, which include setting plans that work for every member. I also have to decide how to carry out each task in an efficient manner. I think that the research opportunity I have at Worcester State University a valuable experience, which will definitely help me prepare for my PhD journey.
Hi, my name is Newly and I am a junior student majoring in chemistry at Worcester State University. I started to do the research with Dr. Shu and his team in the summer after my sophomore year. One of our projects was the esterification study toward the synthesis of olefins. This research allows me to pursue my interest in natural product photosynthesis and gain hands-on experience in organic chemistry laboratory. My team and I are also doing another project that creates organic chemistry videos to provide online resources for students who are under quarantine due to the pandemic or for those who need help with the organic chemistry experiments. What I have learned from these two projects is to communicate effectively with professor and teammate to update and plan on the projects. I also learned great organizational skill by organizing strategies to guide students precisely on all the steps and methods in the organic experiments videos. I am planning to apply for a graduate program after graduating from Worcester State University and getting my PhD in pharmacology. I believe that my undergraduate research experience and skill at Worcester State University will be a solid foundation to help me prepare for my graduate program.
Hi, my name is Emma Polak and I'm a first-year student here at Worcester State University. I'm a biotechnology major with an interdisciplinary concentration in environment and sustainability studies. I became involved with research with Dr. Zhu in this past fall. Recently, the team has been focusing on recording videos of chemistry labs to be used to supplement online learning during the pandemic. My involvement in the project has led me not only to meet some incredible students and faculty, but to form meaningful connections with each of them as I continue to grow my love for science. As I continue my time here at WSU, I plan to pursue my master's degree in biotechnology in order to prepare me for a career in scientific research. I know that this undergraduate research is an invaluable opportunity, and I'm so excited to share my experiences.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm a senior chemistry and secondary education student. I've been working with Dr. Murphy on an independent study since the beginning of the fall 2020 semester, and I'm working on a larger interdisciplinary project between the chemistry, biology, and earth science, environmental science departments at Worcester State to study how pollination works in Michella repens, or the partridge berry. My work in particular is focused on validating the method that we're using to characterize the volatile organic compounds that are produced by these flowers using solid phase microextraction and gas chromatography mass spectrometry. So basically, I run a bunch of samples so that the data that we collect for this analysis of VOCs is like we can draw conclusions from that data with certainty. So I was interested in doing research to put into practice some of the lab skills and theory that I learned in undergraduate courses, and also just because I'm interested in plant chemistry and analytical chemistry in general. So after I graduate, I'm hoping to go on to teach high school chemistry and eventually grad school in something related to plants or analytical chemistry. But overall, my experience as an independent study student has helped me to develop a sense of responsibility in the lab. I work alone for the most part, but lots of people use the space, so it's up to me to ensure that my area is clean, organized, the equipment that I use is also usable by other people when I'm not there. And overall, it's been a great experience. So.
Hi everyone, my name is Maya Shalev. I am a 4+1 student in the biotechnology program. I graduated last year with my bachelor's, woohoo, class of COVID, and I'm currently working on my master's. I started research during undergrad in fall of 2019. My current project looks at the modification of an enzyme that's directly related with apoptosis, and we're looking at a treatment with a reactive nitrogen species as a potential chemotherapeutic agent. Now, why did I pursue research? I wanted to get that hands-on experience for career opportunities, to enhance my scientific knowledge, but also just for personal growth. Research provided me with the ability to utilize firsthand what I was learning in the classroom. After Worcester State, I hope to attend medical school to pursue my dream of helping vulnerable populations by becoming a geriatrician and helping those with Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, with the research, I gained valuable skills. I developed key critical thinking skills, which in effect harnessed my decision-making skills. You know, when an experiment yields an atypical result, you kind of want to figure out a way how you can kind of work around it. And really, that came in with decision-making skills. And further, I was able to act as a mentor and train other students in key laboratory skills, such as synthesis of the specific treatment that we were working with. Research is a really great opportunity for you guys to really enhance your scientific skills, but also to grow personally.
Hello, my name is Judy Lee, and I've been a part of Dr. Mitroka's research group since fall of 2019. The study that I've been involved in has to do with testing the effects of nitroxyl on GAPDH activity under different pH conditions, and I have been mostly improving the method of creating the best yield of N-jelly cell, which is used in the synthesis of nitroxyl. I decided to pursue research since it has allowed me to understand more of my interest in the chemistry field of research and working alongside an experienced researcher such as Dr. Mitroka and to hone my lab techniques. Through this research experience, I've been able to work among peers along with Dr. Mitroka in further pursuit of this study. I have developed skills in communicating, working with a team to solve and conduct different procedures and report back our findings to Dr. Mitroka. I've also been given the opportunity to work alone in the lab to conduct the procedures that I've become familiar with throughout this research. And with this, I felt like I was upholding a large responsibility, and with my experience, I have been able to guide and help other peer researchers in the lab as well. After graduating from Worcester State, I'll be first looking to go into work into the industry or to further my career through research in a research institute.